And welcome to the first episode of season 2 of SParkcast. The theme of today's episode is Freshers Night 2023. Alongside me, I've got Miss Fresher, Runali More from Data Science. I've got Mr. Fresher, Om Padi from AIML. I've got Ayush Amshudhar from Data Science. And we've got KK sir from Meera Desai. Let's go. Now, cutting straight to the chase. I would say there was one performance that stole the show that night and had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hands. I don't know. How did you feel, man?
Firstly, I'd like to start by thanking you for your kind words. About the performance, the feeling was immaculate. बहुत मजा आया. Like, I was overwhelmed by the end of my performance. The crowd played a major role in that. Like, I was in the wings, okay? And the compare of Krish, he said to the audience, our next performance for Mr. Pressure is Om Pandey. And the way the crowd reacted, oh my god, kya chillaya, that just put me in the zone. That did something to me. So like just, so the beat started and I was on the stage, I was in the wings. And I was just thinking कि अभी beat drop पे जाना है. एक सेकंड पहले just एक बार सब भगवान का नाम लिया. And then boom, you all know what happened next. So the feeling was pretty great. I feel what made the performance the way it was is, of course, firstly the crowd because they were very supportive, and secondly the details which I took care of, like the lighting, the performance, how do I cover the stage, a few rehearsals. So I guess all that plays a major role.
How did you take care of the lighting?
Okay, so that's a separate story in itself. I went to the operator, the light operator, and asked him can I get personalized lighting? And he said, sure, but भाई मेरे को याद नहीं रहेगा. तो किसी दोस्त को याद करवाओ, मेरे बाजू में खड़ा है. And जैसे तेरे को तेरा friend बोलेगा, मैं वैसे करते जाऊँगा. So एक friend को पकड़ा मैंने. I wrote on a piece of paper what color light I want or what time frame. And explained her ढंग से and told her to stand by the operator. Her name is Risha Lagave. Thanks a lot for that. And she did an amazing job. All of that does play a role.
What did you give her though after that?
About that, I'll give you a treat pretty soon.
So make sure he gives you.
I've got another question for you, man. So, you also has performance, right? You spent 2 months in this college, right? So you're not like a second year student taking admission back in the first year for various reasons. Like you're a completely fresh student in this college, right?
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel that way. It felt like you've been here for 4 years, everybody knows you. And they know that you're a great performer. So they're going to cheer for you. It didn't feel like you were cheering for a first year student. How did you make that happen?
So I guess it's more about the mentality, the more about the vibe you are in yourself. If you, I don't care. I just know that I'm going to kill it. Nothing else. And recently, a few days back, before the Freshers Night, I uploaded an Instagram video which I also performed on stage. And that's how a few people got to know me in SPIT. So, कुछ लोगों को पता था कि I make music. And then they really contributed a lot on the stage. I believe he...
A few people, he means absolutely everyone. All the stories, because that was the first time I didn't know your name, but this guy, he's sick on the mic, and it was like that. I think that is the reason why Sir said like people knew you out because of that performance. That played a really big role, in my opinion, where the crowd was crazy for you because they knew, just like you knew, that you were gonna steal the show that time.
Thank you so much. If you, it's pretty normal. The first time when you listen to a song live, you don't really get each and every word.
Yeah.
So I believe the audience को exact lyrics so what I said अच्छे से इतना सुनना नहीं रहेगा. But the vibe, again, like the zone, the environment that was created, that played a major role. I believe if you are listening to a song, what makes it different than going on a concert? An artist should focus on what he adds to the song while performing to make that a memorable memory. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So otherwise, if you don't do anything else and you're just on stage and you're just singing like you normally do, then it adds nothing. You need to add something to what you make while performing.
this stuff you hear from great performers, like you hear Queen interviews, like we're going there, the bigger the crowd, the better. And this guy's this second performance, right, ever?
Yeah.
Your live crowd.
So I performed first time in my 10th farewell. And then COVID struck, 2 years, nothing. And then this was the second time I was on stage.
What do you say about that?
I mean, greatness happens every now and then. What else can I say about that?
I think we're gonna take the autographs now itself.
Oh, please no.
We'll be too busy right now.
No.
Now going from one person who stole the show to another. Ronali, Miss Pleasure, how are you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm happy. I was not expecting that I will win this. I was not even expecting कि मेरा audition video select हो जाए. But yeah, it happened.
It just didn't happen. You worked really hard. Go on about that.
Okay, so I did work hard for this particular performance. I just practiced for it for something like 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes that day.
No. On the day of performance, she was a part of her Desi Girls. She did not stop practicing her solo performance. I was scared. हमें practice करना है. मेरा practice था what? Desi Girl group dance.
Group dance.
Okay. DS1. Yeah. So for me, because I could see it on her face. Because all other days she's really confident. She owns the room she walks in. That day you could sense the nervousness on her. And why were you so nervous tonight?
Okay, so yes, I was nervous because this was after 5.5 years that I performed a solo performance on stage, and something like 4 years back I participated in a group dance. So I was very nervous. I was really very nervous for this performance, and yeah, that's why I practiced a lot for my solo.
Wait, so you're telling me that how many years have you been rehearsing? How many years have you been performing?
Like the last time I performed on stage was 4 years back.
Yeah, and how many years have you been practicing, like training?
Like not training, I can say, but I started dancing when I was 6-year-old.
That's what, 12 years?
14
years. And you're still nervous before going up on stage?
Yeah.
I mean, what hope is there for people who've never done this before? Look at this guy, he's done it once before. He killed it on the floor. What do I say?
You got two people on the completely opposite ends of the dance.
I guess
In more ways than one.
And both really.
Yeah, nervousness sometimes make you more. Focused.
It's somewhere when your own body takes over, your mind isn't there, and your body knows what to do. And she was crisp that day, like.
Even a small thing,
Yeah.
I think I was nervous for the whole day, but before my performance, when I saw my friends cheering up for me, all the nervousness vanished. I think everyone was cheering up, Pranali, and that just boosted my confidence to some other level. So my class is the best. That's for sure.
Data science supervisor.
Yes.
जब वो cheer होता है ऐसा लगता है कि बढ़िया अपने लोग हैं, and that feeling gives you that removes all the nervousness and puts you in the dance.
After that, the only feeling that I had was कि इन लोगों के लिए डांस करना है, जीतना है secondary.
So let me get back to the actual question, right? So you're telling me that you performed in your solo performance, you had your dance with a group as well, and according to him, you were like, what were you saying exactly?
She was the ringmaster with the whip, making sure everyone dances.
Alright, I didn't say that here. Alright, let that be on record. He said, no, let's move on.
All the people from DS have trauma going to the 4th floor का balcony. वहाँ पे वापस नहीं जाना, खत्म हो गया उधर जाके बस.
They still want to go there. They keep on asking, I just want to go there and dance practice.
That's those the few dance sweat. Because legs are dying. Yeah. Now we've covered Mr. Pressure, we've covered Miss Pressure, and now we come to the most important award. We want the group dance, data science on the group dance. Like data science, those are like college में, both is on the group dance. Is there anything left? We've done everything. Like, we are without a shadow of the doubt.
For the record, there's war of branches.
And okay, data science won the first 2 years, but which division got the main award?
What?
Excuse me? You didn't won the main award, you won the main award.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, coming to the group dance, I will let you take over because I was a part of this, and it will be too personal if I go around asking questions.
Alright, so I want to know how long you guys practiced for the performance. Like,
2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I guess, after MSc, I think during MSc also we had practice. Like every day, 2 hours, we practice a lot. Especially the boys, that's so easy. boys.
how did you get so many people to come and practice at the same time?
See, that's a different story.
That's a different story.
On the first day, we had just 13 people, and by the end, we had our whole class performing. We convinced each and everyone, like, "Tu dance kar le. Nahi, tujhe nahi aata. We will teach you, but you have to participate." So this was the thing.
I guess वो भी केस नहीं था. Almost start में 15-20 लोग तो आ ही गए थे और after they started seeing us practicing, enjoying the little fun moments, making the memories वगैरह, कि वो लोग भी join कर रहे हैं, ये तो छूट जाएगा first year freshers, ये तो करना ही चाहिए, तो सब आ गए फिर last में.
So who was handling the whole thing? Like, who were the primary choreographers for
I
this?
think she was the
It was Murunali, and then I would say Murunali was the main person, and then under her, not under her, I would say, means then taking over most groups was Shubhral, then we had Zoe, and then we had Ayush. Ayush had the Mari dance.
Yes.
Shubhral had the most difficult task of taking care of all the boys.
Why was she handling this?
Rally is telling me like, I didn't handle the girls, you handle the
Oh,
This was not the story. It was just one word, yeah.
easy stuff. Like, लड़के को ले जाओगे.
मैं उनको सिखाऊंगी जिनको आता है.
She has to focus on
Because
solo.
I have to focus on my solo performance. I mean, that competition. Take care of the difficult stuff. Yeah, मेरे को तो बस स्टूडियो में बैठना है, मजा लेना है.
और इधर I'm like teaching, I finished teaching 2 sets. और इधर मेरा पूरा हो गया. वो डांस पूरा choreography.
Are you saying that it is more difficult to teach boys how to dance, or are you saying that boys can't dance? What are you saying exactly?
Both ways true.
No, boys can dance, okay?
Okay, that's
like,
good.
boys have done a great job. Like, मेरे को पहले ऐसा लगता था, boys इधर अपने यहाँ से इसको नाचना था. नहीं अच्छे से कैसे होगा करके. But at the end, it was the boys who rocked the stage. PR trained as well.
boys भी सब
Just
ऐसे
told कि हाँ ऐसे ही बोलना है. You know, there's one moment that sticks with me in your dance performance, and that is, what is that song in which like the entire sea of girls perform, like Fata poster, what was it?
There was this one poor boy. All his life, he just had one dream. One day he would emerge from a sea of women and he would dance on Chammak Chalo. Akshay Gokhale, his dream finally came true. S.P.I.T, the land where all dreams come true. Please approve the podcast.
Wait, so how did you guys decide that that guy had to be Akshay Gokhale, or was it like it's me, nobody has best to do
No.
it kind of
But
situation?
for him, we have to we took that song, right?
That's the way to be got Akshay into the
Akshay,
dance. The way to grind people in.
No, basically, Akshay was like, if you guys are taking Chammak Chalo, I am in the group dance, otherwise I'm not participating. And since it was a good song, we considered his suggestion.
I'm mentioning the part where slyly all the other boys were cut off and Akshay emerged from a sea of women. But we understand because that was his. You see, no? Yeah, that was the climax of his movie.
That was his challenge so far.
Yeah. That was his last moments of whiplash.
So to get back to the dance performance, right? See, it's not easy having like 40, 50 people doing something or the other on stage. Like, who was the person responsible for ensuring that everybody had a little bit of a part to play on stage? Kaun tha? Was it just this girl again? Because
we had like a group.
Yeah,
तो सब decide कर रहे थे कि ये part में कौन
It was like
करना चाहिए.
everyone was contributing
Yeah.
their part. Like they also showed interest that I want to be there. I want to be in this song also. I want to be in this song. So they used to like, मेरे को ये गाने में रहना है. So we used to take them. Like yeah.
that's a very interesting attitude, because usually the way this dance performances work is तू ये करेगा, तू ये करेगा, तू ये करेगा, तू कुछ नहीं करेगा. तेरे को करना है तुझे.
No, in fact, I would like to say, because these people, I won't name names, but there was this one guy who was extremely uncoordinated. But even then, they were talking about.
But you're talking about yourself,
I didn't dance that well, okay? I was decent. But there's one guy who's really uncoordinated, and I would say, up until the last day, he wasn't too sure, but these people never gave up on him. Like he was almost. You could see him in every performance. It wasn't like we were hiding him behind. बोला आदित्य बहुत मोटा है उसके लिए छुपा दो. ऐसा nothing. They actually like, and he rocked it on the final day. He was awesome that day too.
Wait a second. Why do I remember thinking about you as a slim person, specifically on freshers? Like, why am I remembering that?
Because I lost something really important.
Oh?
Yeah. I lost my blazer. I put the message up on the WhatsApp group several times. No one cared to respond. Here's the photo. Editor, please. See if we've done all we could. Now I'll tell you, seriously, it's my grandfather's blazer and he passed away around pretty much this time last year. So if you have it or it magically appeared in your bag and you don't even want to give it to me, just leave it somewhere where someone can find it. Eventually you'll find its way back to me. 201 maybe. Please. Yeah. Please.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. Let's get back to the moment when you all went up on stage and received your trophy.
And I had my blazer.
My God, I was acquainted.
Enough about blazer. Seriously. Yeah. What was it like when you were on stage? What was that feeling like? जीत गए कैसा लगा?
It was like very unexpected. For especially the boys, बहुत unexpected था. Girls, I guess थोड़ा hope. क्योंकि I guess जब third के लिए announce कर रहे थे, कौन सी बोल दिया था. ये boys का नहीं कि first के announce कर दिया. We went to take photos and all. And the second name announced like exactly HCC. कौन से? Oh shit. We have to wait till the first. Wait till they still had that hope. And first announcement, yes, boys तो पागल हो गए थे. It was too good. And yeah.
What about you?
Everyone, I was like jumping. I was full of like, yeah, like that thing. And then when we went on the stage, the whole group was in the front and like in our own one. And behind judges are like, wait, we have to click a pic. Like, yeah.
Adrenaline rush was so high, I do not remember seeing the trophy. Because we all jumped and we ran. We were all celebrating the moment. I still do not remember what the trophy looks like. Because we were jumping up. And it was, I would say, it was top 3 moments of the year already. Now, we won. It was a great moment. But there was someone who was judging the event, and I would like to know, why did we win, sir? कैसे जीते?
What?
Are you asking the host?
Check cash, right?
Anyway, I'm assuming you're asking me that in my capacity as like a judge for the event, right? As opposed
We
to
would like to hear more compliments, please.
You know what? I won't do that though. I won't just talk about the data science dance performance because that's not fair to this guy. Because he set up the stage for people afterwards. See, it's been years since I saw somebody in SPIT own a crowd the way this guy has. It's been years since I've seen that. And what makes it doubly fun for me is that he did it with a rap performance. It wasn't a dance performance. Traditionally, dancers win. Like, that's how it works. So, to see somebody get appreciated for like a performance, like a kind of performing art that doesn't really do well in this college very much. Pretty nice. And I believe that the entire credit for that goes to him and him alone. Like, he can give credit to the guy, the operator, or his friend Trisha, whoever, like God Almighty he wants to, but ultimately it was him on stage and he was only in the crowd, so he won fair and square. then there's you. I mean, it was obvious to us that you were very well rehearsed. You've been doing this for like years practically. It was obvious. But then what sold us for your performance as opposed to the other people who danced as well, right? Is that you weren't just sticking to, I feel, what was safe. You know, you're mixing a couple of elements here and there, some classical stuff, some contemporary stuff, and you were doing it in a way that felt like you were trying to portray the best that you can bring to the table, as opposed to just हाँ ये तो मेरे को आता है तो मैं यही करूँगी. It didn't feel that way. And there was a kind of flexibility to your performance that I didn't see in the other dance performers. A little bit of tightness था वहाँ पे, आपके इसमें नहीं था. So again, very well deserved. I completely agree with that. And then there's you guys. How do I put it? Well, I'll tell you what all you did not do, right? The things you did not get wrong that a lot of other teams must have. So you had 50 people in your dance team, right? Imagine having all 50 people on stage at the same time for 10 minutes, arranged into like neat rows and columns. You can see the first couple of rows, maybe you have no idea what they're in the background, maybe they're drinking tea or texting their girlfriend or whatever, right? You didn't do that. Like, there was enough space for everybody in your performance. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, when you guys had the entire group on stage, there was a lot of variety in your performance as well. It was not the case that you had a bunch of haphazard songs, जैसे कुछ भी stitch कर दिया, थोड़े 3-4 बीच डाल दिए, थोड़ा घुंघरू टूट गया डाल दिया, yeah, and so on and so forth. I feel like the song selection was very carefully thought out. It's like, can we actually use this? Does it make sense in the sequence, etc., etc.? And even if you guys consciously didn't think about it that way, na, वैसा हो गया sequence अच्छा. You guys, so like you had a lot of people and you did a good job with them. But then there was this one team which didn't have a lot of people on stage at all, and they opened very strongly. And after like a couple of minutes, we were looking at each other, all judges, like all the dancers and the other guy. We were like, it's a class of 70 people, right? Where are the rest of them? It's just the three of you. What's happening up on stage, right? Is it like an MTech class or something? There was this one team that opened very strong again. They had a bunch of variety as well. But it felt like halfway through, their choreographer either got sick or they sacked him, couldn't afford his bills or whatever. Because after that first time, it was like, just want to get through with it, you know, 5 minutes कैसे तो stage पे खड़ा रहना है बस, and so on and so forth. There was this one team that I feel should not have been up on stage at all. I won't say any more about that. Anyway, so you guys had a good number of people. You knew what to do with them, and even the bits between your sets, right, where things have the capacity to become very loose, you maintained a very tight transition set. So from all of those perspectives, I remember looking at the judge, right, when the dance performance was done and you guys were just like doing the final bow and all that. And we both just simultaneously told each other that, okay, this feels like a dance performance from a group that has actually done things together before, right? And for the record, I don't remember saying the exact same thing the last year at all for any team that we saw. So it's not just the best performance of this year for me, it's the best performance of the past 2 years maybe. Well done.
I just want to add one thing, that the song choice, so everybody contributed in that. We came up with one list, and by the end of the practice, we had some other list.
Yeah, we had a round table conference.
Yes.
We had like around 25, right?
We had something like 30 songs in the list. We cut down to 10, and then we had some different 10 songs at the end.
What are the songs you cut out?
They were the songs which the other sections took. And
Excellent.
okay, so that was the thing. That's why we got. And one more addition, that you talk about the transitions. So the music was perfectly edited by Shubham. So he is the best. He added dialogues in between. So that's why the music was the best.
You know, those people don't get enough appreciation, the back-end people, the editors and so on and so forth. That's something we might know because we do a lot of that work. The set doesn't work without that. Like, you can't dance without music, right? So, yeah, 3 cheers to Shubham.
Yes.
I would take the gist of this podcast to us. Leadership is the best, right? Like 2 years, okay, enough. Go with the place.
थोड़ा आराम से.
And the second gist is, I want my blazer. Okay. So now, whoever you are, someday I will find you. When I find you, when I find you, I will